Hey everybody, happy Friday. It is Friday, February 10th. Welcome to studentloanjustice.org. My name is Alan Collins, founder of Student Loan Justice. We are the first, oldest, only, and largest true grassroots group fighting only and absolutely for student loan justice. If you're new to the group, please spread the word about this group right here. We're a little bit more important than you may think. So I've got a couple of announcements. We're going to be in Bel Air or like West Los Angeles, I guess, Beverly Hills or something, on March 1st. We're giving a talk to the Jewish Free Loan Association. Thanks to Lisa Ansell for putting this together and getting me out of the frozen Northwoods of Wisconsin, if only for a few days. If you happen to be in Southern California and want to come by and check it out, let Lisa know or contact me and I can hook you up with Lisa. Lisa can get you in for free. It's normally like $35 or something, but I think it's going to be 7 p.m. on March 1st in like North Sepulveda Boulevard, like right nestled up in the hills there, to the left of Hollywood. So, yeah, we're doing that. Most importantly, we broke very important news this week that the government is profiting on defaulted student loans. That's a claim that no other lender can make for any other type of loan. And it is a defining hallmark of a predatory lending system. It's not right. It's not acceptable. Government should not be profiting on defaulted student loans, but they are. So if you look up or down on our group, and I will be putting it on the main page of our website soon, get the word out about that white paper, that little research article that we published. Send it around to reporters, do everything you can. Last announcement, if you could please donate at this time, guys, it would be just exceptionally helpful. We're in a very precarious financial position at the moment. We survive and thrive only on personal gifts, little nickel and dime donations from normal people like you. And we don't need a lot to survive and fight and win this battle, but we can't do it on nothing, ladies and gentlemen. And it's the year is starting out very rough. So if you appreciate all that we've done, all that we're doing, all that we're poised to get done, most importantly, please just help so I can shut up about it, if you would, please. So if you have any questions or comments and I can see them on either Facebook or Twitter, throw them out and I am very happy to read them on air and respond to them in situ. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I will be as clear as possible. I think clarity is very important, particularly for people who don't live and breathe the student loan issue. And why would you? Only idiots like me live and breathe this stuff. But I want to game out this student loan cancellation thing that Biden rolled out 6 or so months ago. And just so you can understand the importance or non-importance of what we see unfolding right now with this student loan cancellation. So, first of all, tiny bit of history. It was us on this group, way before anybody was talking about canceling student loans by executive order, that we did a seminal interview in Vice News, which asked the question, can the president cancel student loans by executive order? I said yes. I looked closely at the law, the Higher Education Act, and indeed, law, in fact, dating back to the late 50s, believe it or not, gives the then commissioner in the 50s, but now Secretary of Education, as clearly described in Higher Education Act, I think it's 20 U.S. Code 1082 A6. The Higher Education Act, federal law, gives the Secretary of Education very clear authority to broadly waive, compromise, release, some other verbs, do many, many things with student loans very broadly and without restriction. So I said, yes, the president can. And the bad people, some of the swamp people, and unfortunately I have to include a guy named Mark Kantrowitz in that group, They said, no, the president can't do it. And they never gave a good reason. Well, I'm here to tell you guys. The president can cancel loans by executive order, and the Higher Education Act is oh so clear on that point. So, and then this group, we started the petition again before anybody was talking about canceling student loans by executive order. We started the petition at change.org, and you can see it on from our website, studentloanjustice.org. You can see it for yourself. We started the petition that launched the whole concept of canceling student loans by executive order into the public conversation. And lo and behold, like right when our petition was getting up to 500,000 or 600,000, 700,000 signatures, Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer, other Democrats, embraced the concept. So you know, we're a fiercely nonpartisan group. If you're new, we are nonpartisan. We are partisan aware, but we are fiercely nonpartisan. In many ways, we hate both parties, but maybe in different ways. It's kind of a good cop, bad cop thing. So anyways, we were thrilled that leading senators like Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, others embraced the concept. And lo and behold, I'm quite proud to say that we now are sitting here tonight with a sitting president having announced a student loan cancellation by executive order. But I want to take you, the reality, ladies and gentlemen, is that this cancellation is not nearly as cool as you think it might be. And the stakes on whether these lawsuits that are currently winding their way, including one that's gone to the Supreme Court and will be heard at the end of this month, the stakes are not nearly as high as you might think. So first of all, let me just say $10,000 in cancellation is not much at all. If you're watching me, you probably owe way more than $10,000 on your student loans. Like, I think 70 or 80% of the people on our group were not impressed at all. And many people on our group said it was an insult. Some people on our group even said, you may as well just add $10,000 onto my balance. And so, but so it's not nothing. For some people, it may actually be pretty significant. People were on the Pell Grant, $20,000. That's not nothing. Certainly doesn't help the people who are worst hurt, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So these lawsuits, all the other groups that I'm seeing are playing up these lawsuits like they are the most important thing in the universe. But here's the cruel, cruel trick, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden never wanted to cancel loans, right? Remember when he first got elected to be president, he goes, oh, no, I know before the election, I said I was going to cancel loans, but no, I'm not doing that. It was the first thing he said. And, Joe Biden was dragged kicking and screaming to finally doing this $10,000, $20,000 loan cancellation. But, the Biden administration didn't use the law that I quoted earlier, the Higher Education Act. He did not use that law to base this cancellation on. He used something called the HEROES Act, which is legislation 2003. It was kind of a post-September 11th piece of law that dealt with, the original purpose of it, I think, was kind of intended to help, veterans and stuff who, whatever, state of national emergency. But, okay, so the HEROES Act does give the president authority to cancel student loans by executive order in the case of a national emergency. So this is the law that the Biden administration based this loan cancellation on. And all the court cases that we're seeing, including the Supreme Court case, I don't even, at least from all the amicus briefs that I've read, and I've read a couple, I don't see that the people challenging these lawsuits are even mentioning the code that I mentioned earlier, the base code that's been around since the late 50s that gives the Secretary of Education and therefore the president full broad authority to cancel the loans. Quite frankly, I think the HEROES Act is kind of an ill-fitting act, and I've looked at it pretty closely, and I've looked at as I said, I've looked at the arguments that the opposition is using to dispute the president's power to cancel these loans. I don't think they have anything. I mean, if we were only talking about the law here, I think they should lose these cases. But of course, we're not only just talking about the law, we're talking about politics and the Supreme Court and conservative court. And, maybe, I played a song about irony when I started. The most ironic thing here is that the opposition, they're trying to spin their case as being one of, the deep state, the administrative state overreach. Like, oh no, this is the administrative state assuming too much power over these loans. And that's absolute nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. The administrative state absolutely does not want to cancel loans. The Department of Education has never wanted to, does not now want to, and will never actually want to cancel the loans. They love this cash cow. The last thing they want to do is cancel these loans. And so, really, guys, these lawsuits, it may as well be the Department of Education suing itself. This is the administrative state at its worst. It's very clever what they did, by the way, if they're successful in framing this as a, administrative state, like executive overreach type thing. Because look, they can get whatever result they want by mounting as weak or as strong of a defense in these court cases as they want. And I'm here to tell you guys, the Department of Education does not want to cancel student loans. What the administrative state wants, and what the whole entire, I call it the student loan swamp, our opposition, the people making money off of this scam, and it is a scam, what they want are the loans turned back on. Frankly, ladies and gentlemen, and here's where I'm going to game this out, okay? So let's say the Supreme Court case is, let's say the bad guys win. Well, what's going to happen? Okay, nobody gets their loan cancellation. Joe Biden goes, you see, I tried. I really want to cancel your loans. He doesn't. I really want to cancel your loans, but look at these Republicans. My hands are tied. Guys, I tried. That's what we're going to get from Biden. That's what he wants. And that's really what the swamp would prefer. The Department of Education would certainly prefer not to write off any of this debt. But at the end of the day, guys, I don't think it matters, because if the bad guys win, okay, we don't get the 10,000, 20,000, whatever. The loans get turned back on, and I guarantee you the student loan swamp is going to do everything they can do to suck as much money out of us as they possibly can while they can. Because remember, we're in a pandemic. People haven't paid for 3 years now. And the student loan swamp, the servicers, Department of Education, but the contractors for the Department of Education, the Sallie Maes, the Navians, the Nelnets, the Great Lakes, etc., they've been on pretty frugal diet. They've been subsidized, but they're not making nearly as much money as when the loans were turned back on. They want the loans turned back on. That's what they want. That's pretty much the only thing they want. So if the bad guys win this case, okay, that's going to happen. And yeah, we're going to get stuck with all those. We're not going to get the loan forgiveness that we wanted. It makes Biden come out smelling like a rose for the next election. So that's what happens if the bad guys win. If actual justice prevails and the Supreme Court people actually just look at the law, and don't take into account other considerations, they will lose the case, and we will get the loan cancellation promised, which sounds like a really good thing. But guys, it's just not that good of a thing. So, okay, let's say they lose the case, and lo and behold, we actually see a $10,000, maybe $20,000 loan cancellation. So that's going to help, and in fact, it will indeed help, and it's a good thing. It will help. It will erase the debt of something like 19 million people who owe $10,000 or less, or in some cases $20,000 or less. Now, are those the people that are fighting for loan cancellation? I don't think so. I think if you owe $10,000 or less, I think you're going to be okay pretty much whichever way it goes. That's nothing. That's nothing compared to what many people owe, certainly on our group. You know, the average undergrad today is leaving school with $40,000 in student loans. That's undergrad. So, so the people who are left are going to be the people who owe high balances and for whom the $10,000, $20,000 thing does very little. And make no mistake, the bad guys are going to do everything they can possibly do to get back that money, to rack up charges, penalties, fees, interest. And as I said at the beginning of this broadcast, the government and its contractors make a huge profit, not a loss, a profit on defaulted student loans. And believe you me, they're going to do everything they can possibly do to get as many people to default on their loans as possible. And it won't be hard, ladies and gentlemen, because the entire lending system is finished. Even before the pandemic, 60% of everybody weren't paying on their loans. 60% were not paying before COVID. We've had 3 years to think about things. The economy hasn't gotten super great. In fact, it's probably going to get worse. People are not going to pay. My best guess is that whenever they turn the loans back on, and at this point, it looks like that's going to be by like September 1st of this year, depending on how all the court cases go and stuff. You know, September 1st is going to come. The loans are going to be turned back on. And my best estimate is that probably 80, if not 85% of everyone is not going to pay. They're done. They're finished. And in my humble opinion, nobody should pay. This is an unconstitutional lending racket, and it's gone off the cliff. The pandemic was the nail in the coffin. So they're going to see a huge wave of defaults, and they're going to slap even more penalties and fees. They're going to turn $50,000 loans into $100,000 loans. It's going to just completely explode. It's going to mushroom. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, as long as the absence of bankruptcy is still true, as long as us borrowers don't have the constitutionally enshrined of bankruptcy on our side, it will get very, very ugly. I said this was going to be a very tough year, didn't I, last year? For those of you who have been on the group for any length of time, I said this year was going to be tough because the Democrats betrayed us last year. They had everything they needed to return bankruptcy protections to the loans. They had a bill. They had all the support, including on the Republican side. The Democrats decided not to pass the bill. So here we are, guys. It's going to be tough. So do I want those cases to win or lose? You know, I say pick them. It almost doesn't matter to me, guys. To me, it almost doesn't matter. I'm a defaulted student loan borrower, probably like way more than half of you all are, or yeah, probably about half of everybody either is in default on their loans or has defaulted on their loans. So, you know, my balance, I have no idea what my loan balance is. I haven't even checked in many years. It's probably $500,000. I don't know. I only originally borrowed like $30-something thousand, and I repaid thousands of dollars, but whatever. I don't care. I want this problem solved, and so should you. And these court cases will not solve the problem one way or the other. These court cases are essentially window dressing. Whichever way these court cases go, the bad guys win. The loans will be turned back on. Bankruptcy will remain gone from the loans. And that's what the bad guys have wanted. That's what they wanted. You know, the bad guys, when December 31st came around, New Year, the bad guys were clinking the champagne glasses because they successfully defeated our legislation, S-2598 and HR 25, HR, you know, I can't even remember anymore what the House bill was. Whatever. So many bills, so many years. I've been doing this for so many years. So many bill numbers come and go through my head. The bad guys got everything they wanted last year, ladies and gentlemen. And whichever way these court cases go, unless you owe $10,000 or maybe $20,000 if you have the Pell Grant or less, it really probably doesn't matter very much to you. And either way, we're kind of screwed, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to look for your questions and comments now. I'm going to try and get through them quickly because I know I've gone on a little longer than I was thinking tonight. But let us just have a look here if I can see your comments, and I will gladly read them out on air. Where are they? Stop. Okay, I'm getting around to it, ladies and gentlemen. So you notice I have a smile on my face. Guys, the lending system is toast. You shouldn't be too, take heart in the fact that the overwhelming majority of student loan borrowers are done. They will not be making any more payments on their federal student loans. In my humble opinion, it is not only unwise, it's unpatriotic to ever feed another dollar into this unconstitutional lending beast. We do not have to put up with this shit, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to have to all of us, including and especially you sitting there, we're all going to have to show some backbone and some spine going forward. So please just have to put up with this. Take that to heart. We do not have to put up with that this shit like I just said. So I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to see your comments here tonight. This happens sometimes on Facebook. I know we've got quite a few viewers here tonight. If I'm not able to see your comments, let me just do a quick refresh. I apologize in advance. Only you sitting there. But whatever happened. Okay. Hey, Vanjie and Ruse with us tonight. Hey, guys. Holy cow. We've got 14 comments. I don't think I'm going to be able to get through them all, but let's see how far we can get. I have shared the post about government defaulted student loans being profitable left and right and sideways for the last 2 days. Yeah, good. John Cusack, believe it or not, is retweeting our stuff these days. The famous actor. Very good guy, John Cusack. So I'm thrilled. What I'm hoping, not counting on, but what I'm hoping is that there might be at least maybe hopefully one decent, maybe not even good, but just decent reporter out there who is willing to report on that jaw-dropping news that the government is profiting on defaulted student loans. You know, we tried to break that story back in 2010 in the Wall Street Journal, and we got completely outmaneuvered and spun by the student loan swamp. Well, today, I really don't think anybody with a name and a reputation would dare challenge the assertion today, because today, the way the loans are constituted, the federal government is making way more profit on defaulted student loans than it was in 2010. So I'm very hopeful that some good reporters will take this on and vet our research paper, and when they see that there's absolutely nothing they can poke a hole in this research paper, in our argument, there's not even a hole to be poked. I would hope that they would run with it, but I would only point to guys like Seymour Hersh. You know, here's a report. Why is it that reporters will put their neck on the chopping block and report stories like about the Nord Stream pipeline? Like, if I was a reporter, I'd be like, ooh, do I even want to? Like, but here we have reporters willing to break that story that has very severe geopolitical ramifications. So why are all the higher education reporters in this country so fucking spineless? Why? Why is that? Pardon my French. Anyways, Hey, Gordon Watts says it would be good. It would be a good argument to say that Biden has authority, even if the heroes is bad law. Why? Common law mootness doctrine says. I'm not sure where you're going there. Well, my takeaway from these court cases, Gordon, is that even if the bad guys win these court cases, it does not address the question of whether the Higher Education Act gives the president the authority to cancel loans. So that whole question is still an open one, and it's an open and shut argument. I mean, read the Higher Education Act, Section 20 U.S. Code 1082A6, and you can see the language is not ambiguous at all. This is not an elephant being hid in a mouse hole. This is a mouse that was put in a mouse hole 30, 40 years ago, and the mouse grew into a disgusting, horrible elephant. So anyways, I could go on, but yeah, the president has the authority to cancel loans. And even in the worst case scenario, guys, the president can say, okay, fine. Even if a second court case challenging that thing were to fail, president could say, okay, well, Secretary of Education, we're going to do a new income-driven repayment program. It's going to be one payment of $0 for 1 month, and then they will qualify for loan cancellation. So it's just stupid. The president has the power, guys. Don't even trip on that. So Vanjie says it's a super tough time without bankruptcy legislation right now. Yes, we are in a very tough spot, Vanjie. There's no doubt. Our nightmare was that they were going to do some fake loan cancellation as a cheap gimmick to keep bankruptcy protections away. That's what happened. So our ass is on the table. Your ass is on the line here. These are your loans. This is your problem. And your financial livelihood is at stake here. And what happens, not with these court cases necessarily, but certainly what happens in the next 6 months or a year, particularly with this group right here, I kid you not, could mean everything. We need you. And we had a great shot last session, and we blew it, but really the Democrats betrayed us. So now it's going to be tough, guys. It's going to be tough. But you should be up for it because we're the American people, ladies and gentlemen. And we're stronger than that. And the founding fathers are on our side. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get to all your comments tonight, guys. Let's say Rob Miller says, hey, Rob, it's truly surreal. So much rabbit hole, legal and divisive opposition can even have a say in this when this got passed in 98 the way that it did. Yeah, right. The way bankruptcy was taken away permanently from student loans in 98. It actually goes all the way back to 1976 with Joe Biden, believe it or not. Yeah, it's just, guys, we got this. But for the bad politics in this country, and I mean corrupted, heinously bad politics on both sides of the aisle, these loans would have been canceled years or decades ago. This lending system is finished, ladies and gentlemen. If you forget everything I say tonight, remember that. This lending system is finished. The loans will not be paid. The loans will be canceled. The only question is whether the loans are canceled in a clean, quick way that helps us, or whether they're canceled the long, painful, years, decades long way where the loans are canceled by your expiration. In other words, through your death. Whether you're going to have to spend the rest of your life in this debt and then it gets canceled, or whether they'll cancel these dog shit, unconstitutional loans quickly. Pardon my French. Evil. Yes, it is evil. You're right, Rob. The student loan system is not. It is an evil thing. HR 9110. That's right. How quickly we forget. Thank you, Joanna. All right, guys. I think I've said enough tonight. I hope I was clear. We're not going to go to Washington D.C. and parade on the Supreme Court steps and make a spectacle of ourselves over this small ball Supreme Court case, guys. We're not going to do it. Take a step back. Take the larger view And if you do, everything becomes much more clear. We've still got to fight for the return of bankruptcy rights, guys. More than anything, on a personal maybe note, I would tell everyone, you need to bulletproof yourself. You need to, if you're one of the 80% or more people who are not going to be paying on your student loans anymore, do everything you can to bulletproof yourself. That means different things for different people. You know, instead of being an employee, you might consider being an independent contractor, a 1099 employee, as they say. Maybe start your own business. Maybe you have assets that you might want to shield. I don't know. Everybody's different. But there's things you can do to avoid wage garnishment, and there's many things that you can do to keep the collection goon squad off your back. Some of our group members say, arm yourself, and protect your property, no doubt. Who knows what's going to happen? It might be time to arm yourself. I don't know. We don't talk about gun control on this group. We don't talk about any other issues other than student loans. And that's what makes us so strong. Our sole focus on student loans is our true strength. Half of our members are conservative, half of them are liberal. Well, probably most of our members just don't give a shit about either party anymore at this point. I think everybody is complicated, but whatever. Our members span the political spectrum, including hating both parties, which is where I fall. So whatever your politics may be, you came to the right place. This is the only group in the country I'm aware of that's actually fighting this battle and not allowing themselves to be sidelined by these stupid little sideshow nonsense, Washington, D.C. swamp contrived court battles and just all that nonsense. It's nonsense, guys. We see the forest through the trees, and I hope that you will take that to heart. So things are getting hot, guys, and we need you. We need you more than ever. You need us. We need you. And everybody with student loans needs to know about us. And that will only happen when you tell them, because, guys, we can't count on the media anymore. We get lucky in the media from time to time, but we cannot count on the media. What we can count on are ourselves. You, me, Joanna, Vanjie, Rob, James, and all the good, normal people on this group who, I salute all of you. All the people who've been on this group doing the hard work, I salute you. We are the pioneers. If you haven't been helping, you need to help, because this is your battle, and we're not going to get this done without you. So take some heart in that. I'll be back on Monday. Last thing I'll say is just please donate. If I wouldn't even mention it if it wasn't absolutely critical, guys. But at this point, there's no guarantee that we're even going to be able to exist in a month or so at the rate. Just please donate so I can shut up about it. All right. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Hang in there. Good luck. God bless and Godspeed, everyone.